design and everything, and if you lined everything up, say if I'd come from another planet and everything was lined up in a row, and they said, right, we're going to give you a crash course in what's knocking about on this planet.
Yeah.
And you go, right, go on then. And you go, this is man, here's woman, here's a dog, here's a cat.
Here's the Federal Reserve.
I go, hang on a minute, what is this?
In an emergency move yesterday, the Fed announced that it is dropping its benchmark interest rate to 0 and launching a new round of quantitative easing. The last time the Fed did an emergency rate cut was during the 2008 financial crisis. However, over the last 2 weeks, they have undertaken 2 separate emergency rate cuts that have totaled 1.5% and brought us to 0% interest rates. So pretty unprecedented actions taken by the Fed. Oh, and the Fed also cut reserve requirements for thousands of banks to 0. The Fed added in its statement that it is prepared to use its full range of tools to support the flow of credit to households and businesses and thereby promote its maximum employment and price stability goals.
Nerd alert!
Here's what I was thinking, why don't they just invent a number that's not positive or negative and then change the interest rate to that? But wait a minute, that already exists, the imaginary numbers. If you imagine a 2D plane, the real numbers are on the horizontal axis and the imaginary numbers are on the vertical axis. Although that does sound too complex. Okay, well, what about a quantum interest rate? Maybe there's an interest rate, but maybe there's not. That's it. Schrodinger's interest. That's too complicated, the masses would never... Wait a minute, that's it. How about a lottery interest rate? Basically, whenever you take out a loan, there's a random chance to win a prize like a boat, or a gift card, or health insurance. Now, on a more serious note, we did discuss in the previous video how Chamath Palihapitiya has a downside target of the same order as a weight. This would correspond to the S&P 500 at around 1500 to 2000. Amazingly, Goldman Sachs now agrees. This is quite the U-turn from December 2019, only a few months ago, when they said that a downturn is unlikely over the next several years, and stopping just short of saying that the US economy is recession-proof. In the words of Mark Twain, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. For more compounded valuable content, subscribe and like.